Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Let me turn this down. Yep, I can hear myself. Hey Juju Positive. Hi Missy. Hi Forever Young. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes. I know everyone's out there in the YouTube streets battling the Summer Wells case. Hey Dolly Dantman. Dolly, I'm still trying to figure out who that body was in Riviera Beach, but I don't think they know who it is yet. It's hard to schedule a live, guys, because everyone is out there with all of these crazy conspiracy theories about poor little Summer Wells. I made it, guys. I was going to stream the Bahena trial earlier, and I had it all set up, and as soon as I hit go live, my power went out. I thought, are you kidding me? All right, so I'm going to start with part 6. And then I found some very interesting information on the mother that made me go, You live in Idaho? How far are you from Fruitland, Missy? All right, let's go ahead and do this. Volume, really? Have you driven by to see the area where little monkey went missing? All right, so let's get into part 6. And then I'm going to show you guys some very interesting stuff that I found on the mom and her new husband, Brandon. Interesting stuff. So I'm going to start the video. And if you guys, I'm going to come over and visit you, Missy, and we're going to go tear that area apart. So just tell me if you guys can hear it, and it's a go. So here we go, part 6.
In July 2017, people were still waiting for answers about a missing 2-year-old named DeOrr, and we were too. We were there at the vigil next to Jessica and Grandpa, but Isaac and Vernal were nowhere to be seen, and the whole community was watching for clues.
I can't believe it's been 2 years. Everyone wants to know what happened to that little boy. I think as stories started changing and rumors started swirling around, the tragedy, the heartbreak then turns into that mystery and the curiosity of, well, were the parents involved? And if so, how could you do something like that? And then how could you claim that he wandered off?
What's the address of your emergency? My 2-year-old son, we can't find him. We were counting that and we can't find him at all.
I did not get an attorney because I'm a guilty man. I got an attorney because I'm tired of being accused of something I would never do.
Feel a little bit bad about it. Wish it hadn't happened. Better shut up before I get in trouble here.
Some people
we're always going to be pointing a finger at each other. That's always going to probably be that way until this case is solved.
Little man's gone. He's missing. We can't find him.
I'm 99% sure he's probably deceased.
Jane Holmes worked with Private Eye Philip Klein. She's about to drop another theory that could change the entire story.
Some people have speculated that something had happened to the child before they went on the trip to try and cover up the child's death, possibly, or an accident or whatever may have happened.
One reason behind her hunch is a lack of photos taken by DeOrr's mother. The investigators say that she always posted pictures of her son on Facebook, but not during that camping trip.
Did you take any pictures, by the way, at all during the camping trip?
No.
Okay. Any particular reason? Just didn't think about it?
Just when I'm camping, I don't really, I didn't have service. I kind of wanted to relax and enjoy being camping.
Okay.
At this point, Jessica says she had two witnesses in town that saw her with DeOrr. One was a store clerk. The other worked at a restaurant.
We questioned those witnesses. They never saw a child inside that. So now we have two witnesses saying, what are you talking about? There was no child.
I'm pretty comfortable saying he's not in this particular area right here.
Is there evidence that DeOrr was actually last seen at that campsite?
We believe he was.
You believe he was? What's the proof?
It's just the various timelines, the testimony that we collected.
Testimony, but there's no physical proof, no photos.
Correct.
So it's the official belief of the sheriff's department that he was up there.
Yes.
Are you investigating any chances that maybe he wasn't?
Yes.
2 years after DeOrr's disappearance, his family went back out searching.
I feel like people have kind of given up on trying to help us find him. Like this weekend made it public that we're coming up here. Nobody shows up.
Do you think that's because they've turned on you, blaming you?
I think for some people, yeah.
Some people say you know something.
If I knew something, I would have spoken the first day. That's my child. I would die for him.
DeOrr's mother says she was offered a deal, a get out of jail free card.
I had to show them where he was. And I said, I don't know that. So I'm never signing that. And I slid it back across the table and I said, get it out of my face. Because that just pisses me off. I don't know anything.
If Jessica was offered a deal, the sheriff isn't talking. He had no comment. But what we did get was this photo of what DeOrr was last seen wearing. Cowboy boots, a blue shirt, and a camo jacket. But kids grow a lot from age 2 to 4. That's why the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children created this image of what DeOrr might look like as a 4-year-old.
I want him to come home, but 2 years later, you start kind of, thinking, well, that's maybe never going to happen. And you start kind of accepting that in a way and saying, well, at least getting answers is better than what we're doing now.
Jessica says none of the 4 people at the campsite really talk to each other anymore.
3, 4, 5, 6.
But she's still searching for the truth.
Come home, DeOrr! Come home safe! Come home!
A lot of those people that pointed the finger at me or pointed the finger at any of us, are gonna kind of feel like idiots in a way. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been so fast to jump to conclusions. But in the end, I know that the truth is going to come out.
Betty says, I think an animal got him. I am going to have to disagree on the animal. I think there is a lot of shady parts to this case, and the sheriff seems to me like he is falling asleep. Forever young sheriff needs to keep his thoughts to himself. Hey, human animal. So, what I did find I thought was very interesting. I did a little digging on mom. So, and I made a couple notes. So, let me get my little notebook. So, we know little DeOrr went missing July 10th of 2015, right? Betty Spaghetti, poor baby, reminds me of the Dennis Lloyd Martin. Yeah, this reminds me of a lot of cases, and I actually hope that this Summer Wells case does not turn into 6 years later. There wasn't even there was nothing found of DeOrr's clothing out there, to the point where some people say that he was not even there. But then when the mother went with the whole entire, when she was having her menstrual cycle and they had to go into town and the three of them went in, I don't know if DeOrr ever made it back to the campground after that, but I'm really not going to speculate. But let me show you what I did find, which I thought was really interesting. So we know the mother was married before DeOrr's father, and they were actually engaged. They were not married. But we know that she left her 2 kids with her first husband when she started dating Vernal, right? Human animal, that's right. I think if an animal hurt DeOrr, some clothing would be found. Yeah, I think somebody would have seen something if an animal came up there and took DeOrr. Forever young, who else is missing that got candy from a grandparent? I don't know, but this one got some candy. DeOrr got candy. Summer got candy. Who knows? So listen to this, guys. I found this interesting, and I think I'm actually going to call the Sheriff Penner tomorrow and see if he does not think this is weird as me. Okay, so listen to the dates. Okay, so here's the dates. This, oh my gosh, you can't make this up, guys. I thought that I had my contacts in the different eyeballs because I was like, what? So DeOrr went missing July 10th, 2015, okay? So I looked into Jessica and her husband because I was curious who he was and if they had kids together, but I didn't get that far because I got sidetracked. So let me show you something. I mean, you really cannot make this up. So, Brennan Paul Burch. Let me wait for the screen to change. I know I got a little delay. Okay. So, when I started to look into Brennan Burch, I found some documents that were actually, let me open them up. You cannot make this up, guys. Okay. So here's a judgment. Ruth Bartlett, Baby Spaghetti, Reb Donna, Serafina said a bear got him. I went to watch that. I am not convinced. Even the mother said on part 4 or 5 that she does not think an animal got them, but she thinks some kind of animal got the baby, meaning like an animal of a person is what I took in my opinion. So guys, so can you see that? So before Jessica married Vernon and had baby DeOrr, her and her now husband Brennan, try and stay with me, guys, had a small claims on 8/11/2008 Let me go in a little closer because it's back here in the bottom right corner. This was 6 years before DeOrr went missing. DeOrr went missing at 5. No, they weren't married. They were only engaged, I found out. They never got married. But her and her now husband, Brennan, had a small claims court. This is only one of them. They also have an eviction in 2009. So that means that she was with Brennan before she got with Vernal. Do you guys get what I'm saying? This is a pattern with this woman. And then this one is an eviction. Yes, she hooked up with her old lover, but we have to remember, if she left her first husband and she left her 2 babies with him when she met Vernon, because she didn't want to have children, then she has baby DeOrr. But before she got back with him, between the first husband and Vernon, she was with Brennan. Because on this one, this is an eviction. This is an eviction. And if you see right here who the defendants are, Brennan Burch and Jessica Burch, aka Jessica DeOrr's mother. This date is on 9/15/2010. 6 years. Just under 6 years before DeOrr went missing. Humanimal said she and lover could have conspired to start fresh without DeOrr. She was clearly feeling disgust for Vernon. Hi, CJ, you're correct. But not only did she leave her 2 children with the first husband, now DeOrr disappears when she starts this relationship, but it gets a little better. It is a lot of speculation, Betty. I'm just putting out the facts that her husband that she is with now, she was with before she married Vernon. So during the time, though, let me go back to one more document. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. It's probably too small, so I'm going to read it to you. So this is the state of Idaho versus Brennan Paul Burch. Hey, Too Tall Rob Live. Betty, I am not saying that she got rid of DeOrr, because I just find it very strange that this is definitely a pattern for this woman to move to a new relationship and not have her children with her. It's mind-blowing, because I know if I was going to leave, I would not leave my children, but that's just me. People are different. You know, some mothers are like alligators. They want to eat their young, maybe. So let me just read this. And this is not a big deal. This is basically him driving crazy, driving inattentive or careless, not guilty, driving without privileges. So it's basically a driving deal, but he did 90 days in jail. He did that time on September 19th, 2016. So the time that DeOrr goes missing, this guy is getting out of jail for doing 90 days on the 3rd count of being a reckless driver. Dolly Dantman, I agree the sheriff is off and Jessica has 3 or 4 stories and she failed every polygraph and both private investigators say parents are not telling the truth. Yeah, there's something really weird that she goes back to the man that she left. And he was getting out of jail. The effective date was 9/19/2016. He gets out 90 days later. DeOrr is gone. She leaves Vernal. She puts all of her stuff in storage. And what do they find? They find the camo jacket that DeOrr was wearing and his little Matchbox toys. Hi, Mari Pink. Let's see. I know a lot about this case. You were getting a lot of it wrong. I wish you would stop. What am I stating that's wrong, Mari? Oh, that's a false rumor? Okay, how do you know that? I mean, if you want to take a link and come up, we can talk about it. Okay, do you want to come up? I've got no problem dropping you a link. It could be any camo jacket, but I'm just going off of what the report said from the storage unit and what was found in it with the camo jacket. Babies. Yeah, I would love to know the facts, Mari. What else are we getting wrong from the parents' interview that's coming out of their mouths? Rob, this is not the lie for that. Mari, do you want to come up? Because we would love to know more facts. No, I agree with you, human animal. It could be any camo jacket. Okay, Mari, my email is in the description. Well, can you type it in the chat, Mari? Because we really would love to know. I am just going off of the parents' interviews, Vernon's interview, Isaac's interview, her mother's interview. I'm just going off their interviews. Okay, that's great, Mari. And then I can share them with everyone else. But Mari, you don't find it strange that she left her 2 children with the first husband, gets back with an ex-boyfriend the time he's getting out of jail, and little DeOrr goes missing? We are open-minded if you want to set things straight. We are all ears, human animal says. I don't trust Jessica. She has a poor track record, but help us understand. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, my panel's open. If anybody ever wants to come up and have a chat, because I do want to also play another video of the 3rd private investigator that came onto the scene, and he claims the parents are innocent. He is the one that had the cadaver dogs that hit on those bones, but then Penner said they did not get any DNA off those bones, so they could have been animal. Okay, Mari, but she's still left without her children. Mari, do you know anything about her dating Brennan back in 2009? What was the dates again? Do you know anything about her dating her husband now back in 2010 and 2009? Maury, I'm sure she had visitations with her children. I'm not saying she didn't. Okay, so can you tell us what that is about, maybe? We would love to hear. Oh, that's very important. I don't know if you're friends with Jessica, but I would love to talk to Jessica too. We are totally open-minded. We just want to know what happened to little DeOrr. Yeah, it said something about Betty. If you watch on, I think it was part 5, where the sheriff says that they could not get any DNA off of those bones that the dogs hit on. So that's something about they didn't have DNA on them. Maury says she didn't leave them with her ex-husband. She gave. No, I get that, but at the end of the day, Maury, even though her life wasn't in the best shape and her finances, she walked out of a relationship without her kids. Regardless of visitations, regardless of anything, she walked out of a relationship and left her kids with the ex-husband. That's all I'm saying. No, Betty, they at first let me you know what? Let's go ahead and watch this video of the third private eye that came in to help them, and because I'm up for all possibilities. Let me just find it. Maury, so what if she left the ex-husband? He could take care of them fine. And Maury, I'm not disagreeing with you, but that is not what I am talking about. Forever young, some difference with leaving the 2 kids. Why? Where's the attachment? Let's go ahead and check out this the third private eye that came in with his cadaver dogs from either North or South Carolina. Let me find him. Maury, believe me, I hope the parents had nothing to do with it. I just find some of the things leading up to DeOrr going missing just a pattern. Maury, I was part of the searching for this boy when he first went missing. I lived in this community. I think that's great, but I think they need to find out where he is. Betty says, that's crazy. I didn't hear about the remains the dogs hit on. Yeah, you're going to hear about it right now, Betty, as soon as I find it. And I'm almost there. I'm sure Maury knows who I'm talking about, the man with the 2 cadaver dogs. Let me just find it. Yeah, I'm going to call Penner in the morning. What did Penner say to you, Maury? I'm looking for the video, guys. Whatever you that is noble, Maury. You met Jessica and Vernal. I've had lots of conversations with the family. I think that's great. I mean, I would love to talk to Jessica. I'm not saying she did anything to her child. I just think that this is one of a very mysterious disappearance of a little boy. Well, we're not putting any false narratives out, Mari. We're putting out what the parents, all the interviews, like what they said. This is what they said. There's no speculation here. It's what they said out of their own mouths. I mean, am I wrong? Hang on, Betty. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just going on what actually came out of their mouths. The grandpa said, what Isaac said, what Jessica said, what DeOrr's father said, what the grandpa said, what Sheriff Penner said, and a couple of investigators, even the one right here that we're going to play. Let me share my screen. Oh, we can talk on the phone, Mari. We can talk on the phone. And now I'm going to go on to another interview right here, Mari, that is actually going to say that the parents are innocent. See, I'm going on all paths. I just want to know where little DeOrr is. And I also think that, in my opinion, and you don't have to be mad because everyone in here comes with their own opinions, unbiased, and we just talk about things. We're adults, and we don't have to argue. I want to hear everyone's intake on what's going on. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, Mari. I don't know why you don't want to come up. You don't have to show your picture or anything. You can just talk. Oh, no one's mad at all. We just want to talk. Everyone has their opinions. But the thing of it is can people be adult enough to have their opinions and not hate over it? Because imagine if we all had the same opinion. Have their opinions and not. All right, let me mute this down. All right, guys, so let's watch this video. And I'm sure Mari knows all about this. This is the man. This man believes that the parents are innocent. That they had nothing to do with it. So here we go.
To DeOrr Kunz Jr. That's a question that has gone without an answer since July of 2015, just about 4 years ago, when the boy, then 2, was reported missing after a camping trip with his family in Leadore in eastern Idaho. But now we may be closer to an answer tonight. A prominent private investigator who recently took this case is hopeful that they may have made some progress. Our Misty Inglet spoke with that investigator earlier tonight to learn more. She joins us live now from Idaho Falls near the campsite. Misty, what'd you find out?
Well, Mark, David Marshburn is a private investigator who took on this case a couple of months ago after some local community members encouraged him to try and find DeOrr. So earlier this month, around June 8th, Marshburn brought out 2 specially trained cadaver dogs to search the Timber Creek campground where DeOrr was last seen. And according to Marshburn, his dogs made what they call a hard alert on what he believes to be human remains.
Our dogs are cadaver dogs. They find cadaver scent, human cadaver scent. So when they do an alert, we are pretty confident that they're finding remains of a human, but are we saying, can we 100% say it's DeOrr? No. Can we say it's an Indian from way back? No. We don't know what's 100% there. We just know the confidence in our dogs that there is human remains of some sort there. It's just what?
Now, Marshburn says that his dogs are trained specifically with human bone, human teeth, and human cadavers, so that is the only scent they will pick up. He says they are also specially trained to be able to identify human remains as deep as 6 feet underground. And because that's what they're trained for, Marshburn says they found something. Marshburn also said after his dogs alerted, Sheriff Penner brought in another dog who also hit on something in the same area. Now, again, to be very clear, Marshburn told me he's not sure who or what exactly it may be, but he's confident it is some sort of human remains that his dogs alerted to. He says next steps now up to the Lemhi County Sheriff's Office and local law enforcement.
I know my dogs. I know what we do, and I know they had their past history of finding people, and I'm pretty confident we feel we have got what we need, and we went back, and now the sheriff's office got to do their part.
Now, Marshburn owns a nonprofit called Search for Me Foundation, and he tells me that he and his cadaver dogs have helped solve 13 missing persons cases to date. And when asked why his dogs may have found something that other dogs haven't over the last 4 years, he said it could come down to simply a difference in how they're trained, the way they work with their handlers, the elements like water or wind, or it could just be about timing. Now, Sheriff Penner did confirm to KTVB yesterday that Timber Creek Campground is closed through the weekend as part of a search that is related to the DeOrr case, but he didn't provide any other details about that. And today we also reached out to some family members of DeOrr's, but they tell us that they were asked by the sheriff's office not to comment at this time. Mark, back to you.
So, Misty, let me ask you, is Marshburn's investigation finished? I mean, the obvious question, what happens tomorrow? What happens this weekend and beyond?
Well, Marshburn told me that his part to this point is pretty well done because, of course, they have to have special equipment to come in and dig on that area that they alerted to. They have to, of course, have all the other pieces in play of depending on what they do find. So that's up to the law enforcement. He says that's where they come in. He said he'll probably hang around for a little bit, see what they discover. But his part, at least up to this point, is pretty well done. Now it's local law enforcement to figure out the rest of the pieces.
Misty Inglet and photojournalist Paul Belke on the scene tonight in Idaho Falls. Misty and Paul, thank you. As you might know, and as we've reported, this is a case that has drawn worldwide attention. On July 10th of
So that detective says that he does not think the parents had anything to do with the little boy going missing. What did Human Animals say? It could be that the remains were after someone scattering a loved one. Well, from what I gathered from what Penner said, that when those remains, the remains that were found that were brought back to the lab, he said that they did not have DNA on them, so they could have been animal. And that's all they said. Forever young, anyone think he was handed off in town? I don't know. My suspicion could be that maybe when she had to go into town to get her feminine products that something could have happened. Holly Berry. Animals have blood, sinew, and clothing bits. Yeah, I think that something would have been found. A shirt, a cowboy boot, or something. But I can't wait to talk to Maury and see what she has to say. Betty Spaghetti, they couldn't tell if it was animal or human remains. That's weird. Yeah, it was weird. It was something about the bones did not have DNA in them. So they were probably animal. Let me look and see if I can. Yes, I think G-Paw was suspicious, Jennifer Rebecca says. Betty Spaghetti, they didn't with Jared Arturo until almost 10 years later on top of a mountain. So they found his clothing parts 10 years later? Yeah, I'm looking. I found it right here. 1 second. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, it's weird. I'm just going to tell you what it says. This was back in March of 2020. Says sheriff remains found near where DeOrr Kunz Jr. was last seen are not human. The FBI tested the remains and did not detect any human DNA. So March 20, 2020, last year, a private investigator's cadaver dogs were alerted to possible human remains near the campsite that DeOrr Kunz Jr. disappeared from. On Friday, the Lemhi County Sheriff said that the FBI did not find any human DNA in the remains found. 2-year-old DeOrr Kunz Jr. disappeared from a campground in a remote part of Lemhi County, which we know Leadore has been done in hopes of finding a lead in the search for the missing toddler. Let me catch up on chat. Betty says, oh, wow, okay, damn, human animal at a campground. Someone just cooked something they hunted or took with them. It could be, but supposedly these were the remains that were found from those 2 cadaver dogs. Lizzie Two Shoes, hello, I appreciate a smaller group chat. I followed this case from early on, definitely sad and suspect. Yeah, I like a small group too, Lizzie. A small, fun group that has an open mind and just wants to talk like adults and just get out some ideas. But you can't tell me different. I'm not a suspect. I'm not a conspiracy theory. You guys that watch my videos know I'm pretty much to the point, to the facts and what I think. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mari, but the mother has a pattern of moving on to relationships without children. Thank you for being so open to discussion, Betty says. Oh, definitely, Betty. It would be horrible without that. Forever Young Same saw the first news broadcast. Yeah, Lizzie Two Shoes. I really wish Ellie would get their shit together. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm going to call Penner tomorrow and just see what he says when I tell him about how come she moves on with the no children thing. Human animal, you read my mind. When I saw the date that he was getting out of the 90-day sentence, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like, I don't believe in coincidence. And that's just a lot of coincidences for one bunch. April, I'm new to the case. What do you mean move on without kids? April, after this, I did a 6-part video, Lost Little Man. The mom of DeOrr was married and she had 2 other kids besides DeOrr. When she went with DeOrr's father, they were not married, they were engaged. DeOrr went missing in 2015, July 10th. So when she ended up leaving her first husband, financial reasons, whatever reasons, She gave the husband the children, but she saw them and she visited them. But in between, somehow, she was dating a guy named Brennan before DeOrr was born, because they were evicted out of an apartment and they had a lien against, like, maybe a credit card bill. I don't know. But he was serving some time for driving recklessly, 3-time offender. And when the time he was getting out, little DeOrr went missing. She left her husband, well, her fiance, DeOrr's father, and now she's married to the man that she was with before, when DeOrr went missing. Did I get that right? Oh, hi, Lizzie Two Shoes. Thank you. Human animal, Jessica never had a job other than work for her granddad, so no wonder she couldn't provide a home. Kids need safety and care, not a house. Yeah, that is what she was, the caretaker. And that's why he brought his friend Isaac to the campground in case he croaked, he said. Betty Spaghetti. But wasn't his father there on the trip? Her grandfather was there. It was Jessica and DeOrr's father and DeOrr, Jessica's grandfather, and Jessica's grandfather brought his neighbor friend, Isaac Renwand. 4 adults and DeOrr. I have no idea, human animal. I do not know, but I just find that bizarre. And I'm going with my spidey sense on this one. Yes, Vern is DeOrr's biological father. Human animal, and Vernal knew she would likely relinquish custody to him. Did he want that? Did removing DeOrr suit birth Vernal and Jessica, knowing they were splitting up? Good question. Forever Young, please repeat her timeline with her men. I don't know the exact dates. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so DeOrr went missing July 10th, 2015. Let me share my screen. My whole screen. Okay. Okay. So, I'm not sure if I haven't really looked into her first husband. I'm sure if I wanted to find him, I could, but I'm just really not interested. But this is a judgment. This judgment, let me open up the other one real quick too. Okay. He's so cute. All right. So, is Maury still in here? I hope I didn't upset Maury. Maury, did you leave? Maury, do you know what the husband's name is, the first husband? I don't think Maury likes me. My fifis are hurt. All right. And you know what? My spidey sense is like, oh my gosh, there's something so weird about this. She kind of reminds me of Casey Anthony, but just not as nutty. Happy Helen. Prayers for answers. Yeah, okay. Here's the timeline. Let me get my notes. DeOrr Kunz goes missing on July 10th, 2015, and at this time, she is engaged to DeOrr's father, DeOrr Kunz Sr. They call him Vernal. Before she was with him, she was married and she has 2 older children. She got divorced for better reasons. I don't know the dates on this, but guys, I'll find it out and do an update on it. She was dating a guy named Brennan Burch. On 9/15/2010, they had an eviction. And as you can see, the names. Let me get a little bigger so you guys can see that. Betty Spaghetti. Yeah, Lizzie. I always felt like the parents left him with the grandfather to maybe smoke a joint or something, and they knew they were negligent after the boy went missing. But when you hear the grandfather on his interview and he says, I better stop talking now or I'm going to get in trouble. That's a little strange. Okay, so 2010, Brennan and Jessica are evicted. They probably broke up. I don't know. Maybe this was the breakup point. Because I know she's got an eviction with Vernal too. Vernal. Then they had a judgment in 2009. Brennan Burch and Jessica Brennan. They went off to smoke weed. But now, don't you think Isaac to me is a very nervous person. Like, I'm sure Isaac has anxiety. He just comes off very nervous all the time. I think I'm sure he didn't really leave Grandpa's side too much considering, but that's the only person he knew out there because that was the first time he met DeOrr Kunz's father and Jessica. So I can't, and she said he was just weird. He was quiet. He didn't talk. So after all of this goes down, and I guess her and Brennan broke up because obviously they did, because she married. I mean, she didn't marry. She got with DeOrr Kunz Sr. So we know after DeOrr went missing, she got back together with the husband from 2009 and 2010. Around the time that DeOrr went missing, Brennan was serving 90 days in jail. When he got out was around the time DeOrr went missing. Very shortly after DeOrr went missing, Jessica broke up with DeOrr's father, and now she's married to Brennan Burch. Let me look at chat. Yeah, I totally agree that Isaac was the scapegoat. He's married now. He got married, I think, in 2008. Forever Young, thanks for the info. Says a lot. Oh, it says a lot in my opinion, too. Carp DM, hello. Isaac definitely was stuck to Grandpa's side. Oh, I agree. He did not leave Grandpa's side. Happy Helen. I personally wish to thank you for such comprehensive coverage. Thank you from all who love DeOrr. My answers be found. Amen. Yeah, I'm going to give Penner a call tomorrow. I'm just curious because I got a feeling Mari left. I'll have to check my email later and see if she emailed. But yeah, there's something that's sitting well in my gut about. I could see. Oh gosh, there's something so wrong with this whole entire picture. Let me ask the ladies in the room. If you were going on a camping trip and you were, you have your menstrual cycle every month, would you not bring feminine products with you if it was around the time that you knew it was coming? Then they go into town, just her, DeOrr's father, and DeOrr. She claims that some weird man saw him at the booth. The sheriff hunted him down, and he didn't remember anything about it. He was an older man. See? Absolutely, yeah. That whole story was weird, too. It's just, something's not adding up completely with mom and dad. Jennifer, Rebecca, possibly. Juju, yep, yeah. I go with like everything. Yes, I would have taken feminine products as a younger girl, could get caught out, but Jessica's age, you just think of it. It's absolutely. It's not even that you think about it. It's like one of those things like your toothpaste. It just automatically goes into your toiletry bag. I mean, anyone that goes out of town or goes away once in a while probably still has them in their toiletry bag under the sink. Lizzie Two Shoes, I have always did bring stuff, but not when really young. I was a space cadet. True. But she had to have a story that was urgent enough to explain the trip into town. Exactly. I don't always, and some people don't. I mean, she could have been one that thought, we're going to go camping and we're going to be 2 hours round trip to the nearest store, and my period might come, but I'll just stick a washcloth down there until I can get into town. Juju positive the grandpa's friend assured me, though he doesn't remember much. Yeah, he's nervous. When I did the interview of him from 2019, he was still nervous, and his wife was there with him, and he was still just the way he was in 2016. Carp DM. I'm 43 years old and I had a hysterectomy. I still take a few pads and tampons when I go, in case one of my girls needs it. Exactly. My 12-year-old I always have them in there. I could be 3 weeks away and know that I'm going like even to a water park, and I'm like, yeah, I'm taking them. You just never know. Yeah, I'm going to check out Pat Brown. Maybe Mari can get, she said she would love for me to talk to Jessica, so maybe she can set up a date. Forever young, for a more conservative. See Pat Brown, hippie. Happy Helen, great fire starters. Right? Oh, that's funny. Hence all my period undies. We all got those. Actually, mine are getting kind of snug since the COVID weight went on. Ruth Bartlett. How old was she when this happened? How old was Mom when it happened? Let's see her date of birth. She was born, hang on. Not 1960. Let's see when she was born in 1990. Little DeOrr went missing in 2015. 25. Human animal, I was so glad to not have unperiod aunties. One plus the menopause. So she was about 25. I mean, I don't know. If you're not traveling with a baby, like you got to pack bottles and you got to pack blankies and food and snacks and toys and 25 pairs of clothes. You would just think that stuff is natural, but maybe she didn't. Dolly Dantman, apparently when they went into town, Vernon hit 4 stores before she went to the store she needed, so it was not important. Yeah, he had to get that diesel fuel. But why give out all that information? Why do we have to know that you had to make 4 stops? You know what I would love? I would love for the behavioral panel to look at these videos and give us what they think. Give us their opinion. I think that would be great. Ruth Bartlett, I do not know. I'm not going to dig into that. I just know she has a pattern of starting new relationships and not having children with her. And I know that she was in a relationship with Brennan, who I assume was the one with her at the vigil in the beginning of part 6. And it just all happened around the time that DeOrr went missing with his court jail 90 days inside. I don't know. DeOrr's father, though, he seems very hostile and moody and short, like he's got a short fuse. Jennifer Rebecca with the case. I don't believe Pat Brown, though. The only thing I'm going on are the words that came out of the 4 people that were there. I'm going on the words of the first sheriff who said that the parents were definitely involved. 2 private investigators said the parents were involved, and the third one with the dogs that hit the spot does not believe the parents are involved, and the bones that his dogs hit on had no DNA, so they had to be animal. Ruth Bartlett, who goes out in the middle of nowhere needing gas, and she goes out in the middle of nowhere needing pads. Yeah, something's not right. I'm honestly starting to think that if the parents did do something, and I'm just saying if, and how they can't find anything at the campground and the surrounding areas, maybe when they went into town was the point that DeOrr did not make it back to the campground. So nobody knows shit, Forever Young says. Lizzie Two Shoes, Monkey. Sadly, I've known a few women who lost interest in 24/7 care of kids when they lost affection for dads. In my opinion, Jessica. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she reminds me. I wonder when Casey Anthony's birthday is. I wonder if she's born in the Capricorn era. Betty Spaghetti, hello, basically Forever Young. Delta Curtis, I'd be here just a little later. I love your show. I like the way you aren't afraid of giving your opinion 100% on what you're saying. Oh, thanks, Delta. So, my plans tomorrow, I'm going to call Sheriff Penner. I'm going to call Philip Klein again. I'm just going to keep bugging him till he calls me back. And I'm going to ask them if I can record their phone call because I think this little information is interesting with this Brennan Burch. It's got my little wheels turning. Human animal, he looks exactly like his dad, especially that pictures in the beginning of the series where his dad's leaning over him. I was thinking of that earlier today when I was uploading it. I thought, man, he was going to look just like his pops. Betty Spaghetti, not to be mean, but not uncommon for mothers to treat children of their exes or a different father differently or even abusively. Human animal. If they don't kill during psychosis or postpartum, it's always about a man, about freedom, about finding or keeping a man, or partying. Forever young. Can you just show up at the sheriff's office? I live in Maine, so if I'm going to go all the way out to that area, I'm probably going to be there like in a couple of weeks because I'm going to go on a road trip and probably stop along the way. Probably sidetrack into Tennessee, go into New Jersey. I'll probably stop in all the little areas where the kids are missing. Let me show you this one picture that still bothers me for the ones that I have not complained to about it. It just rubs me the wrong way. And this picture rubbed me the wrong way before I knew anything about the mother. It was like one of the first pictures I looked at. Let me full screen, and then I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because I work in the morning. Jersey. Yeah, I want to stop in Jersey. We got Maria Dulce Alaves missing from there, and I want to stop in Connecticut. We got little Vanessa Morales. Tennessee, Summer Wells, Kelly. You know what? I could go on for hours. My gosh, there's so many people missing. Okay. When I started looking into DeOrr Kunz's case, this picture was one of the first pictures I found. And the second I looked at it, I didn't know the circumstances of this little boy going missing or anything like that. When I look at this picture and I look at this mother's face and the way that she is looking over at him, I see complete, like there's zero attachment. It's so cold. I love Philadelphia, Dolly. I love the terraces on top of the buildings. I just absolutely love that. But I couldn't handle the traffic. I went through there one time at 5 o'clock to go visit my sister and brother-in-law, and I thought that I was going to bang my head right into the windshield. Lizzie Two Shoes, she looks disgusted. Forever young, Jess has never been warm, and it hurts her. Hard to gauge, but shady in my opinion. Carp DM. Yep, her true feelings are seen in that picture. Human animal, she just sees something that wants to make disappear. Forever young. Disdain in April, yes. It was one of the first pictures I thought, wow. Another thing that really bothered me was on the beginning of part 6. Let me go back and just play it again let me make sure my volume is on, which I don't think it is. And then I'm going to wrap it up after this, guys. Let me share my screen for the last time. Yeah, this, all right, let me find it. All right, here we go. Let me wait for it to catch up. I hope I clicked the audio button. No, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm going to play this one little part. This is another part that bothered me. So we all know, and most of you probably know what I'm talking about. But this is the picture that I was talking about earlier. That actually reminds me of what I told Human Animal, that he's going to look just like his dad when he grows up. So let me find that part that bothers me. Where's the mama? Right here. All right, guys, if you can hear it, which I hope you can, let me know.
Did you take any pictures, by the way, at all during the camping trip?
No.
Okay. Any particular reason? Just didn't think about it?
Just when I'm camping, I don't really, I didn't have service. I kind of wanted to relax and enjoy being camping.
Okay.
At this point, Jessica says she had two witnesses in town that saw her with DeOrr. One was a store clerk. The other worked at a restaurant.
We questioned those witnesses. They never saw a child inside that. So now we have two witnesses saying, what are you talking about?
So that's another thing that stands out. When you take that many pictures of your little boy all the time, because I'm taking pictures of my dog, my cats, hummingbirds, I'm always taking pictures. So to go on a camping trip and you don't take one picture, not one picture, because you didn't have phone service, what in the entire F does phone service have to do with taking a picture of your baby camping with your grandfather on oxygen that you know he's going to be passing over soon? I'm not buying it, guys. I'm calling Steve, and I'm going to tell Steve what I think about her moving on to relationships with no children. No pictures, no this. Philip Klein knows. That's why they fired him, because he was getting too close. Then they tried to sue him, but I did read earlier that all of the charges now have been dismissed against Philip Klein. So I will reach out to him again tomorrow. A lot of shady that I found tonight, especially that Brennan, the DeOrr, the timing of him getting out when DeOrr went missing. Yeah, you can't make this up, in my opinion. Mari, I'm going to look for your email, and I will get back to you when I get off work tomorrow, which is about 6 p.m. Eastern, so we can talk anytime after that. I would love to. I'm not saying the mom did it. I'm not saying the dad did it. I'm not saying the grandparent did it. I'm saying Isaac didn't do it. If Isaac did it, he would have already said what happened. I just don't think he did it. Hang on, guys. I don't have anyone. All of my mods hate me, so no one came in tonight. So I'm trying to do it all by myself. And that's what I love about this chat, too, because there's no one in here being mean and being, like, stupid, ignorant. Like, there's no need for that. There's so many other channels that we can go on and be petty, but I don't want to be petty here, because I can be petty. I was petty last night when I put out that, let's just talk about that for 1 minute before I go, because I am not going to do it live on Summer Wells. I am not going to put a title of her and ride this crazy bandwagon. And I don't even want to hear responses or reasons, but how many people were bothered about the pictures that were shown last night on the interview room? Yeah, we're not going to do any of that in here. We can go make a petty room. Yeah, I was up last night, and after I watched Chris Madonna. I only made it to the picture part, and I was so disgusted that I had to make a video. And you can go back. I do not call anyone out. I don't talk about other creators. Even when I'm in a creator's room, you do not see me ever talk about my channel. I just love what's happening. I love the little group that I'm getting because I want to talk to people about what's going on with these stories without the bullshit. Now, Ruth, I can go back and tell you where the private investigator who searched the storage unit with the police officers say that that is the camo jacket. But then Mari said in here earlier that it wasn't. So I am going to talk to Mari, and he could have had 20 camo jackets. If his father was a hunter, maybe he was taking the little boy out with him and he was wearing camo too. I live in Maine. Everyone wears camo in deer season. Everyone has a deer on their hood of their car in deer season. So if anybody needs me to send you a deer, I'm only kidding. Carp DM, they treat Summer as cash cow. Yeah. I refused to do it. April, he knew what he was doing. I left after the pit. Yeah. Absolutely. It bothered me. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little mind blown by it. Ruth, I love Gray. I honestly blame Gray for putting me into because I never knew that YouTube even had lives until I was in Florida during Hurricane Gloria, and we lost power for about a week in Delray Beach area. And I went onto YouTube to watch videos because we didn't have TV. And then I saw like a room that had like people talking in the side chat, and it was Gray Hughes' room. And I was like, what? People talking here? Are you serious? And I also have a My Miliete video dropping tomorrow. I'm not going to say too much. I did speak to her sister through Facebook Messenger, Maricris. And I only reached out to her because I'm not sure if any of you saw a comment that was left under one of my Milete's video. But this man was so intuitive of what was going on in her case. And he said some really interesting things that made my hair stand up. So I reached out to my sister on my Miliete Facebook group, and she got back to me like quick. And I sent her over the screenshot of what this man said. It's under my last My video. So hopefully that may guide them into a direction. I don't watch TV either, Betty. Lizzie B. Savage. Hey, girl. I'm going to add you as a moderator, okay? Because Lizzie B. Savage. I don't watch TV anymore. So I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm going to wrap it up. But like I said, if I get any information from Mr. Klein tomorrow or Penner, I will definitely do a live and we can do an update. And I forgot what I was going to say. But that's normal. Oh, Lizzie, I want to talk to you about the petition. I have some papers that I want to email you regarding a bill on top of the petition. It's a whole little different ball game that has to be done state by state. So email me, please, and maybe tomorrow we can get on the phone and have a conversation or talk on Discord, whatever. But if you can drop the link for Summer Wells petition, that would be great. Thank you, Lizzie Two Shoes. I appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys so much. What was I going to say, though? It was something. I forget. It will. So like I said. All right, let me take a screenshot of this so I can email you in the morning. I actually get out of work, Lizzie, about 6 Eastern, and I'll email you when I get home from work. Yeah, we're going to need... Oh, that's what I was going to say. Let me find my... I started a Facebook group. And in this Facebook group, I want to post, like, people that are missing, of course, all that good stuff. But what I really want to do is I want to start passing some bills and laws across the 50 states, including Breasia Terrell's law and Evelyn Mae Boswell's law. Because how on God's earth is it not illegal for an SAPRED to be able to babysit a child alone? This can't be happening. This has got to stop. And then the Evelyn Mae Boswell law is that you have got to turn a report in if you have a child missing for 24 hours. Hey, Ruth, my dog's name is Monkey, Monkie. This is my whole YouTube channel started because I made a channel for her, and a hurricane came. I lost power. I was into the Kaneka Jenkins case. I found Gray, and then I had no intentions of doing a channel. That's why it's Monkey Mar, because my dog owns me. But then let me share my screen real quick. And then I asked a creator if she would do a case for Michael Russo, whose mother has been missing out of the Chicago area for, it's going to be 2 years in September. He's actually going to come on and talk on my show about his mom. He's really shy too, though, so I told him I'll be gentle with him. I'll be gentle with him. R.I.P. Evelyn Mae. I know. We've got Letitia Stout going to court, guys, in what? Oh my gosh, 8 days for the preliminary. That is going to be a party. Lizzie, all help and ideas are needed. This is a worldwide effort. It's going to be. You are absolutely correct. This is why. This is my little Facebook group. Everyone that comes into the group, I want them to have like a part in the group as far as posting. I'm really bad at this. I'm trying to get it together. I've got some rules down, a little background photo, 6 members. But what I did is I had to shut it down because I was getting members, but I had no posting going on. I'm horrible at Facebook. So I am working on it, and I want this just to be able to talk, and not just one group, about ideas, conversation, awareness, what we need to do to start making a change. Della Curtis, baby Evelyn stole my heart too. That was just, And I have a Discord server that I'm opening that I'm trying to figure out permissions to. I do have somebody helping me with that, but like I said, I work 60 hours a week as a barber. I have an acre of land. I've got 6 chickens, a cat, 2 dogs, and my 23-year-old daughter, when she moved out at 19, she left me with 3 hermit crabs. So I stay busy. Lizzie Two Shoes. Last I saw, there was a visual in September for Echo Lloyd. Echo Lloyd, another one, who I am convinced that her neighbor, that SA creeper, did something. Oh, another thing, guys, that I have to tell you. I've been in touch with Kelly Brennan's friends. They reached out to me and they want to come on the live and talk about Kelly. They are in the process of moving this week. So when she gets back to me, we are going to set up a live for that as well. She has a lot of things that she wants to share that have not been shared yet. Chicken and crab dinner. I'm going to tell you guys one funny story and I'm ending it. When my youngest was in 3rd or 4th grade, she had like 9 hermit crabs. Like, she loved her hermit crabs. One day she asked me to boil the shells. Not the hermit crab shells with the Hermes in them, but the empty ones. So I gathered all the shells. I checked them all, made sure there was no little leggies hanging out. Got the water boiling nice and hot. She called me up and she says to me, her teacher, Mrs. Brown, called because she was so nervous. She goes, "Can you ask her to watch the ones in the shell pit too?" I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a 9-year-old. So I ran in and just grabbed the shell pit, dumped it into the boiling water, but I didn't check the shell pit for crabs. And I looked in the pot and oh my God, there was a little crab in there cooked. So when Danielle came home from school, I said to her, I had it on a little platter. And I said, "How do you like your crab, Danielle? Do you want it boiled or do you want it grilled?" Oh my gosh. I could melt you some butter too. Hey, Sherry, my girl. Sherry, we are ending this live, but that's all I've got on you guys. But I'm going to get this Facebook page going. And I'm going to talk to Lizzie about a few things regarding the bills. I have downloaded all of the paperwork. I know what we need to do, but we need one person in every state. So guys, if you want to get involved of making a change on the laws and how our kids go missing and what Lizzie is doing with the summer wells, there has to be a change. Petitions are wonderful. They work absolutely incredible along with the bill that you want to have passed. But we need to start dealing with our House representatives and our senators in each of our states. So, if you want to be involved, please send me an email. It is in the description, and let me know. One more thing, because I'm so busy that I'm always seeing squirrels. If you could put in the subject your state, your state in capital letters, and that's it, then I know what it's about. Jerry, why are you timing people out? She's Dolly, let me see something. Hang on, Dolly. I think she's I don't know. Let me see. Do you know how to get her back, Lizzie? Because I don't. I'm really new at this live thing. Sorry, Dolly, come back. Talking about rabbits. She says, oh my God, I accidentally killed the rabbits also. No good with reptiles. Sherry, I boiled my daughter's hermit crab and tried to serve it to her with a little melted butter. And I gave her 2 little toothpicks, like little chopsticks. She was like so mad. Okay, Lizzie, that's great. All right, guys. That's it. So if you want to be involved and we can talk in the Discord server, send me an email. I am actually off on Wednesday, so I can catch up on everything on Wednesday. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming in, and I will see you in the rooms. Have a good night, everyone. Take care, and I hope that if anybody was in the Gulf where that monster Ida hit, that you all are doing good. And with that, it's a wrap.